Hey, what's up guys? In today's video, we're going to be going over some interesting PlayStation news. If you end up enjoying the video, make sure to drop it a like, and if you want to stay up to date on the latest PlayStation news, make sure you subscribe. So the first topic in the video is about a supposed requirement for PC gamers to play PlayStation games on their PCs. So we're going to be reading from PlayStation Universe where it says, PSN account may be required for PC ports of PlayStation games, hence Sony FAQ. Sony has indicated in a new FAQ on its website that PC ports of PlayStation games may require a PlayStation Network account in the future. The official PlayStation website features a section dedicated to PC games, specifically info for users looking to snap up PlayStation Studios games on Steam or the Epic Games Store. The FAQ features the topic of trophy support for PC games. They will not sync with your trophies list on the PSN profile, but some answers are a little more ambiguous. Regarding the topic of needing a PSN account to play PlayStation games on PC, it reads, no, you currently do not need a PSN account to enjoy PlayStation Studios games on PC. This suggests that something may change later down the line. So yeah, this is the first time that I'm hearing about this. Apparently, I don't really check Sony's FAQ website, because, there's just really no point unless you actually have a question, And apparently one of the questions that someone asked has to do with, for PC players and for those that want to play PlayStation games on their PC, apparently it was asked if they had to have a PSN account, and apparently Sony said that, no, you don't. I don't have a whole lot to say on this because it sounded like Sony said, as of right now you don't have to, but maybe in the future they just said, no, you don't have to. So it's just like asking a question like, could this possibly happen? It would make sense for Sony to do this because it would make them more money, or at least you would think it would, because, there's probably a lot of PC players, like if they heard about this and they were like trying to play, like, let's say The Last of Us Part 1 whenever it comes out on PC, and before they buy it, like if a message pops up and it's like, oh, you do not have a PSN account, you have to create one in order to access this game. I feel like that might be a little anti-consumer. So, Sony's tried to do things like this in the past as far as not being pro-consumer. And I feel like if this actually did end up happening, I feel like it would backfire because, people that, prefer PCs, like, obviously they prefer playing games on PC when it comes to PlayStation, so if there's like extra steps they have to do in order to play PlayStation games, then they'll probably just stick with their PC games or playing like Xbox Game Pass or something. I don't see this happening at all, but we never know. But what do you guys think? Down below, let me know your thoughts on, apparently there's a slight chance that in the future, PC players that want to play PlayStation games, they might be required to set up a PSN account. Moving on to the next topic in the video, we're going to be going over an update regarding the PC release for Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection. So we're going to be reading from PlayStation Universe where it says Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection PC still on track for 2022 release. Sony Interactive Entertainment's newly launched PlayStation Games on PC website has reiterated that the PC version of Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection is still on track for release this year. The page for the action-adventure series bundle simply says coming to PC 2022, which isn't exactly a concrete date, but at least we know it's still on track for this year. Back in June, a listing on the Steam DB indicated the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection would ship in October. And so yeah, it is kind of confusing how this game still hasn't came out on PC yet because, we never got a firm release date back in January whenever this collection came out on PS5. All we knew was that this game was coming out later this year on PC, and we're almost halfway through August and it still hasn't came out yet. So a lot of people are like, when are these games coming out on PC? And there's been like leaks and rumors about like, oh, it's coming out in October or, other dates. And those are just rumors. We still don't know anything officially. Naughty Dog hasn't came out. Sony hasn't came out and said, oh, these games are coming out on this date. I still fully expect it to release sometime this year. I could definitely see like an October release date. You would think that Naughty Dog would want to get this Uncharted collection onto PC, that way they can fully move on and focus on bringing The Last of Us Part 1 to PC, which I think that's coming out sometime next year, but we'll just have to wait and see. But what do you guys think? Down below, let me know your thoughts on how apparently the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection for PC is still on track to release in some time later this year. Moving on to the next topic in the video, we're going to be going over an update regarding The Last of Us Part 1. So we're going to be reading from PlayStation Universe, where it says The Last of Us Part 1 and Remaster comparison video reveals huge visual upgrade for the Burning Barn. Naughty Dog has lifted the wraps off yet another comparison video between The Last of Us Part 1 and The Last of Us Remastered, this time showing off the visual overhaul that has been added to the Burning Barn from the start of the game. In case you needed reminding, the barn is seen on fire as Joel, Sarah, and Tommy drive into the town after fleeing home in the midst of the outbreak. Whereas the remaster simply depicts the building on fire, The Last of Us Part 1 reveals the barn falling apart in a huge inferno. And so yeah, I've seen this clip myself, and I'm going to be showing it in the background so you guys can see it as well if you haven't already. And wow, it looks so good. Not only like the graphics itself, but like they changed the way the fire is burning, because in the remaster it's just the barn is just on fire, but in the remake, as you can see, the farm is falling apart, so it's a lot more realistic. And obviously it just looks very, very beautiful to look at. This will probably be the last thing when it comes to The Last of Us Part 1, comparison things that I'm going to be covering until the game comes out, because I don't really want to see every single thing that's been remade before I actually play the game myself, because there's already things that I didn't want to see yet, and I just chose to watch it early. And so yeah, what do you guys think? Down below, let me know your thoughts on this comparison video. Do you think the remake looks better than the remaster, or do you prefer the remaster version of it? Moving on to the final topic in the video, we're still going to be talking about The Last of Us, but this time we're going to be moving over to the Last of Us HBO show, because we have some new cast members that has been officially announced. So we're going to be reading from PlayStation Universe, where it says Henry and Sam have been cast for HBO's The Last of Us series. The Last of Us HBO series has cast Henry and Sam, the two brothers encountered by Ellie and Joel in Naughty Dog's critically acclaimed action-adventure game. Henry will be portrayed by Lamar Johnson, who has appeared in the likes of Rookie Blue and Your Honor, and Sam is being played by Kevon Woodard, and this looks set to be his first major role. Once again, the pair will encounter Ellie and Joel like in the game, but they will be found in Kansas City and not Pittsburgh. Apparently, the brothers are hiding from a revolutionary movement seeking vengeance. Furthermore, it appears that the character of Sam will be deaf. This hasn't been announced, but footage of Woodard from last year has the youngster discussing his desire to become the youngest and first deaf black professional hockey player. And so yeah, this is very exciting news. I haven't seen anything that these actors have been in before. Apparently, the person that's going to be portraying Sam, this is pretty much his first ever role, and he's also deaf. So, I'm very intrigued to see how they're going to weave that into the story of The Last of Us, because, there was a very well-written character in The Walking Dead, and she was deaf, so, I'm not, worried that, Sam's going to be deaf. That is very different from the game, because he could hear things, but I'm just very intrigued. And when it comes to the guy that's going to be playing Henry, he's been in some stuff before, but I've never watched it, so I have no idea who this guy is. He looks very similar to the guy that actually was in the game. And I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with Henry and Sam, and apparently they're changing the location of whenever Joel and Ellie run into these guys. So apparently in the show it's going to be set in Kansas City, whereas in the game it was in Pittsburgh. So I wonder if, I'm assuming whenever they do the 20-year jump, I'm assuming that it's still going to take place in Boston. And if that's true, I'm assuming it won't be till later in the show that we get Henry and Sam, just because of where the location is on the map, and is Billstown still going to be in the same place, or is it going to be closer to, where Henry and Sam are? Who knows? But what do you guys think? Down below, let me know your thoughts on these castings for Henry and Sam, and also let me know your thoughts on them changing the location from Pittsburgh to Kansas City. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it or found it informative, drop it a like and hit the subscribe button by turning on the post notification bell so you don't miss my next upload. Until next time, guys, take care.